Hi, I'm Heidi.
Hi, I'm Nell.
We're one-to-one diet consultants, and this week we are going to talk to you about step-up meals. What are they? How are we using them? Are they a meal replacement? Are they not a meal replacement? That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we've been doing a little series about all the extras, and a lot of you don't know, what all they all are, or where the line is between what you have to use on plan and what you don't have to use, and what's a necessary and and all of it. And so, as part of our which step, do you use the meal replacements on, and which one is the right one for you? We thought we would just run through a few of the extras. So, step up meals are. Do you want to do it? Shall I do
They
it? They
are
are all together now, not a meal
meal
replacement.
replacement. They are not a meal replacement. They are a 200-calorie microwave meal that comes out of your conventional calories on step 2 and above. There
Yes,
are
very
3 of
well
them.
put. They are a pop to ping, pop in the microwave when you don't want to prepare your own food on step 2. And even though you can whiz up a 2-egg omelette on step 2, sometimes we all, the shopping's not being delivered until tomorrow. It's 8 o'clock at night and we hadn't thought about it yet. It's been a long day and we all just need to have something in the cupboard that we know fits the criteria. They're all pasteurized. So even the chicken curry and the beef casserole, they're all pasteurized. So they don't have to be in the fridge. You don't have to eat them by a certain, well, obviously you have to eat them by a certain date, but the dates are very long. So it's not a weekly thing. They can be pulled out of the cupboard, like almost like a kind of can of soup or a convenience meal, can't they? And
Yeah.
just popped in the microwave. You know that they're okay on plan, they fit the criteria, and they really are delicious. A lot of people use them deliberately on purpose on plan, maybe treat themselves to 2 or 3 of them a week and then do the rest cooking. Because even this morning I got a message from somebody who has dropped down from step 3 to step 1A because she can't be doing the calorie counting. When we're filming this, we're in the midst of the Easter school break, and she's a mum of a young family and she can't be doing the calorie counting, so she's dropped down. And what we did was we middle grounded that, right, rather than jumping over step 2 by putting the step up meals in there, because she feels like she's using a full meal replacement. She's still getting her extra protein. She's still getting that warm, substantial. People say, they're a bit more filling. They're bigger portions, aren't they? Because they're
Oh,
conventional.
much bigger. Yeah.
And they're not, they don't have a third or a quarter of all your recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals, but they are still fitting the macros of the one-to-one diet, which is relatively high protein, really quite low carb.
Yes. And the good thing is, because they're not a meal replacement, they can be used by anyone in your family, whether they're on plan or not. So your partner could have one if they
Even
wanted
occurred to
to.
me, Heidi. I
I
am
know.
not a sharer, not when it
No.
comes to my step up
But I
meals.
thought it would be worth saying, even though we don't share food. Just saying.
No.
They
This is
are really
on
nice.
mummy's. This is on mummy's special plan.
Yeah.
Just like, where does it stop, Heidi? Come on, you start pulling that thread, and you end up having to share your salted caramel bites. Come on now, we're
Yes.
not doing
Um,
that.
and the good thing is, you can use them in maintenance. They are really, really nice. They give you a good hearty bowl of food, which is very much needed when spring refuses to arrive and it's still
Doesn't it?
raining
Yeah.
outside.
They're also very good for bulking up meals. So if
Yeah.
you're moving at the moment, step 2.5 or transitioning into step 3, then we would use them as a 200 part of our 400-calorie dinner.
Yes.
Or we move them to lunchtime. You can have them at the office. You can pop to ping them in the microwave in the staff room, or and then you can have them. You can have your dinner later as well. It starts to feel like a lot of food. Quite a lot of people will like to put their salad allowance with the step up meal. I mean, to be honest, if I were your consultant, I would say a bit of watercress is not going to break the bank, because it kind of just makes it a bit more of a
Yeah.
complete meal, in the same way as you would any convenience microwave meal. You might add a bit of fresh just to kind of go with it, but you can bulk it out so that they can be part of your 600 calories on step 3, so you can use them all the way through, unlike other ones, because we know that there's lots of count on us ranges and be good to you and all those sorts of things. They don't always fit our macros. They're not as low carb as we'd like them to be. There are a few ranges that fit really well, but mostly they will have a thick layer of mashed potato or something on them that doesn't quite bring it down to step 2 level. There's nothing out there that really stands up to fitting the step 2 requirements, but the step up meals do. How many flavors have we got at the moment? Because they come and they go.
3 at the moment. So there is the beef casserole, the veggie chili with wedges. So this is the only vegetarian one that we have.
Does
And
have a
then
decent
the
amount of
chicken
potato in it,
curry.
actually. Now you come to mention it, don't take those potato wedges away from me. No.
No, and if if you really want, you can separate out the potato wedges, put them in the oven so they get crispy whilst your chili bit is doing in the microwave. Or
Was
in
it
the air fryer.
make with the barbecue pop squares as well?
Yes.
Like a
So
kind of
if you
taco
can
crunch.
kind of use the pop squares either to add a bit of crunch or as a little nacho kind of affair to scoop up your chili, it works very well. Any of the flavors of them actually. The cheese and onion work quite well with these because it's like that savory, herby kind of taste. And also, like Nell said, there are other low calorie microwave meals out there on the market. They tend to not be as low as 200 calories. So, when you're on that higher step and you've had one of them days and you've used a lot of your calories up already and there's not a lot left for your evening meal, but there probably is 200 left. And this is a good, solid evening meal. And you feel
Yeah,
like
they
you're
do.
eating
They
something.
do. Yeah, they people do find them really filling. You have just made me think of something though that people might identify with, because this is our safe one-to-one space. Is that yes, you can make a chili. Of course, you can make a
Yeah.
veggie chili and you can put kidney beans in it and it can be high protein and it's all good. And on the higher steps, you can have it with cauli rice. And when we start getting excited about food, oh my gosh, there's just no stopping us because, I talk a lot about food for a meal replacement diet. If you can't, and there are plenty of people who will get completely overwhelmed with everything I just said, and they can't batch cook. I've been there. I'm sure Heidi will identify with this. I know in theory I can batch cook 6 portions of this and I can make my step 2 meals, but not everybody has the will, the wherewithal, or the self-control right now, which is why we're doing the one-to-one the way that we're doing it. And we know that we would eat 2 or 3 portions of that stuff
Yes.
and it's never going to make it into the freezer. So if you're there, then the step up meals really are a bit of a godsend, actually, because they are finite. You cut the top off, you pop it in the microwave, or you can cook it on the hob. It is just food. And it's like a warm bowl of hot potty casserole. And it's delicious. And when it's finished, much like the reason that you love the meal replacements, it's finished. And you can't go back for, you're not going back for seconds, and you know that you're eating food and losing weight. And I think that is also kind of wrapped up in the same fear of the
Yes.
self-control and how your mojo is feeling. There will be another time in the future where we will work up to batch cooking and being responsible for our own portions. But if you're here in the early days, don't be a hero. Don't be over ambitious. Be honest with your consultant. That's what step up meals are absolutely perfect for. Equally, having said that, if you're on step 1A and you would like, or step 1B, and you would like to try them, you can add it onto your step 1A plan and it will just be a step 2 day. Equally, you can pull out of meal replacement and you can put one of them in there on a step 1B day, on a day like today, like Heidi mentioned, when spring just ain't sprung yet and you really would like something a bit warmer and substantial. Quite often I find that people will use a couple of step 2 days in their week. Maybe they're the London days. We're down here in the southeast, so maybe if you work from home, you self-regulate your own schedule a lot of the time, but you've got those 2 big commuter days. That's what step up meals are perfect for.
Yeah. Or, that Friday night when the rest of the family are getting the Indian takeaway or
Chicken.
whatever they're getting. And you're like, I'm going to grab one of these
I have
and
really good
join
reviews
in.
about that one. People
Yeah.
really genuinely like that one. And that's why I said watercress earlier, because watercress comes in bags, like the 2-for-1 offer. It's got heat. Watercress in
Yeah.
itself has got that kind of hot, lovely crunch. It's cold at first and goes really well with that curry.
Yeah. They're perfect.
And no one
And
ever
like,
had too much watercress on step 2. Promise, hand on heart. I'm not like playing fast and loose with the rules, but come on now. That's not going to be the thing. What's going to be the thing is the chicken korma and the naan bread that they're having.
yes, exactly. And the thing is, a lot of people do get scared about introducing food to the plan and they get worried about, oh my God, but I'm not a cook. I'm not that person. What am I? And they just overthink it. These
Yeah.
are the little gateway to putting that food
Yeah.
back in
They're
an
also
easy,
they're
manageable
also
way.
like you say, flavor. If
Yeah.
the rest of the week you're surviving on a bit of grilled chicken and boiled
And some
eggs,
spinach because you get
which is
more for your money.
absolutely fine. Kiss it, kiss it, kiss it, keep it simple, stupid. That's my number one rule for step 2. And that's fine. But sometimes you might want a bit more bang for your buck flavor wise. The step up meals do that. I mean,
Yes.
I'm very au fait with the vegetarian one, and I do like the sauce. It's not a sauce, is it? Like a chili. It's
Yeah.
that soy mince, but my gosh, the portion, you really do genuinely get a good portion. And I will usually tell people to use step up meals, but they ask me if I use them. And after a long day at work, absolutely. It's the one piece of good advice that I will actually take of my own.
Yes, my favorite is the beef casserole. They taste like you expect them to taste, much like the rest of the range. When people go, "Well, I can't believe the chocolate bar tastes of chocolate." These taste how you like. The beef casserole is how you would expect a beef casserole to come out. It's lovely, and you do get quite a lot of potato in this one and this one. And I'm just saying that potato on a high protein, low carb diet, sometimes that's all you need is a little bit of wedges in your
Now,
dinner.
you're not going to find that on the step two list. And, I do like to be a bit of a club bouncer. I think a step two meal used judiciously on any step is a very clever move, but I am quite strict about if it ain't on the list, it ain't coming in. Except when it comes to step up meals. But we'll also find that in your app, if you're using the app or if you're using the one-to-one blog, there are a lot of recipe suggestions out there now as
Yeah.
well that also have ingredients, that aren't on the step two list. If they come from one-to-one, then our product development department, our recipe development people have made them fit the macros. And ultimately, as you move up through the steps, we're not here to turn you into crazy calorie counters. Actually, we want you to sort of ride and die by the macro moderately high protein alongside high fiber. That's what the green beans are for. Moderately low carb and drinking lots of water. And if you stick to those rules, the macro rules generally have more of the chicken curry and less of the naan bread and the rice. You kind of can't go too far wrong. And yes, we can refine it, and lots of people use MyFitnessPal, and maybe we can do another video on how to account for your calories. But sometimes turning people into calorie counters can cause as many issues as it tries to solve. So we try and work around that. And just like Heidi said, using the step up meals is a really nice and the meal replacements, because they're finite and they do the portion control for you. They're a really nice way of leading you into, and we can eat potato and still lose weight. Because although we one-to-one will always lead you in the direction of that macros rule, that ratio, we're not here demonizing any food group. We're not scared of food. We're trying to rehabilitate our relationship with food. Food is food. Food is completely neutral. It's our behavior around it that through the weight loss process, we try and work with you to rehabilitate. So actually using the odd step up meal, again, in our little safe space, it might sound a bit out there to the wider world, but we know that a lot of us struggle with, shall I slash and burn? Shall I cut this? No, we're not going to demonize food. We're going to use food and we're still going to lose weight. And for a lot of us, it's going to blow our minds.
Yes. And they have really long days in them. You can put them in the back of your cupboard and have them there to break glass in case of emergency right next to your pop squares. They are absolutely wonderful. So if you've not had them before, maybe ask your consultant about them.
And if you're listening,
try
global headquarters, we would like a broader range. Thank you very much.
Would very much. Yes. So 3 right now, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get some more. Who knows?
Won't we?
We don't know. Don't ask us if we've got new products coming. We will never know. We know when you know.
God, we'll be the last people they tell. Can you imagine? Yes, let's go and tell the 2 girls who've got a broadcast channel with over 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, no.
No, we can't keep secrets. We will tell you as soon as we know.
Come here and we would tell you. Exactly.
So we hope that's explained a little bit about what the step 2 meals are, how you use them, what steps they're for. If you have any questions about the step up meals, you want to know anything more about them, put them in the comments below. We love to see your comments. If you are currently using them, how are you finding them? What do you love about them? Which ones are your favorites? Tell us everything. We are nosy. We like to know.
We are nosy. In fact, it is such a miserable day today in early April that I am going to go and have one for my lunch/dinner and film it. Or at least take a photograph of what it looks like when it's all put together. So check out my Instagram and we will put up some nice photographs. And maybe Heidi, one point, will show us a little nacho pop square type, extravagant.
I might have a video. If I manage to find it, I might put it at the end of this.
We might.
If it's not there, editing Heidi didn't remember that she said that. I'm just saying. That will be the only caveat. That Heidi may not have remembered when she comes to
we'll check the comments for the reminders.
But thank you for joining us. If you would like to get started on the plan or know more about the one-to-one diet, our contact details are in the description box. As always, we put a video out every Tuesday at 5. Please subscribe so you don't miss our future uploads, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Tonight we're gonna eat some nachos. Tonight we're gonna eat some nachos. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tonight we're gonna eat some nachos.